If you are 60 years old right now, that means on average, you're going to have another 1,000 weeks of healthy, active time. And if you're above average, maybe a little bit more. But if you're below average, then less. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why you need to be thinking about retirement right now. I'm not saying everyone should go out and retire today. I'm just saying you should be thinking about it right now as you get up there in age. If you're in your 50s, 60s, to start thinking about this ASAP, because nobody knows exactly what the future holds. So let's talk about it. Number 1, health. When we are working, there's a couple things that we're trading, and that is number 1, stress. Often we don't realize this because we often kind of get used to our work, but there's always a level of stress to a full-time career. And the question is, how enjoyable is that stress right now? And is that stress actually taking years off your life? Are you paying for your retirement in 2 ways, where if you're working longer than you need to, and the stress, of course, you continue to work means you take years off the front end of your retirement because you continue to work, and it could potentially take years off the back end of your retirement because of the stress that literally kills some people. That's number 1, thinking about your health. And number 2, like I just said, every year longer we work than we really have to, we are giving up some of the healthiest, most active years in our retirements. That's what we're giving up. So we have to make sure we understand, okay, let's think about our health in the decision-making process of when to retire. Certainly the finances is a piece of it, but what about your health? What would working longer do or not do to your health? Number 2, time. And this is the obvious one. Time is non-renewable. You don't get any back. If, let's say, you choose to retire and you realize, this is not really what I want, in some ways, it's kind of undoable. You can always go get something on the side if you need to, right? Money is a lot easier to solve than time. Time never comes back. Money, there's lots of options, right? Whether, okay, let's cut back a little bit or let's do that. And most people don't have to do those things in retirement, but most people don't realize the time difference that they are giving up and all the time that they're not putting into other things because they continue to work. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's say you're 60 years old and you say, look, if I told you, look, if you just work another 10 years, you will double your money in your TSP. Is it worth it? It's a fantastic question. Now, I honestly don't know the answer for you. You're going to have to answer that question. But honestly, it's not very difficult to double your money within 10 years. That's actually pretty reasonable when it comes to average returns and average contributions into TSP. It's pretty easy to double your money within 10 years. And so working another 10 years would probably double your money. Is that worth it? Because that's the trade, especially when we get to the end of our end of our careers. If you're fully eligible to retire, it's just a matter of when you want to go. That's what we're trading. Do we want to have more time in retirement or more money in retirement? And you've got to find that balance for you. Number 3, because you're working, there's less time and energy you can put into other things. I talk to so many retiring feds, and travel is almost always on the list of, I just want to be able to travel and see the world and do things. And that's 100% true. However, it does get harder as we get older, right? Going on, let's say, a backpacking trip across Europe sounds amazing maybe in your 20s, but in your 60s, not so much. Now, of course, travel's still great at any age, but it does change. And so the longer we push off some of these passions, the ability and desire to do certain things will change over time. It simply will. And so we have to realize, okay, what am I not able to put time and money and energy into because I am continuing to work? What projects are there? What adventures are there? Maybe it's just you want to read more, whatever it is. What are these other passions? What is pickleball, right? What are the things that you would love to spend more time on, but you really can't right now because of course, your job? Number 4, relationships. And this is big. I don't know exactly the state of your relationships, whether you have aging parents, kids, grandkids, friends, etc. But here's the deal. Certainly with aging parents, having the ability and the time and the resources to help can make a world of difference for you, for parents. It can make a world of difference. What about your kids? Are they growing up? What about grandkids? Are they young? Can you enjoy that time with them? There's so many things in relationships that, again, you need time for. It's hard to keep great relationships if you don't have time for them. What about friends? You have great friends. Do you need time to make new ones? New relationships in retirement. Again, just retiring doesn't mean you're going to have great relationships, but at least it gives you more time and energy to be able to foster what you do have and to make new ones potentially. Now, this number 5. This is one that you may be surprised that I say because I'm a financial planner. I'm a finance guy, right? Let me ask this question. Let's say, I talk to a lot of feds, and most feds kind of have a number in their brain, like, okay, once my TSP gets to $1 million or $500,000 or $2 million or $3 million, whatever the number is for you, they say, look, once I get to that number, I'd be comfortable retiring. Okay. So let's just, for example's sake, let's say your goal is $1 million, right? And let's say right now you're sitting on 900,000. Is that enough for you? Is that enough? If you were at 90% of your goal, is that enough? And is it worth working the few extra years, whatever it would take, to get to 100% of that goal? Because that's what we're doing. We're trading time for money. That's what we're doing. And basically what you're doing is you're buying time. You're saying, look, I'm okay not to get to $1 million. I'll take that 100 grand that I would have saved, and I'm going to buy 3 years of extra retirement time with that money. That's what you're doing. You're buying time. You'll have a little less money, but you buy more time of the active young years of your retirement. Now, I'm not saying you should or have to do this. It's just, again, think about it. What's the trade-off look like for you? Because there's some people, not everyone's like this, but there's some people that it's so easy to say, okay, well, just one more year. I'll just go one more year. I don't feel quite ready. One more year. Now, I've met some people on the other side that maybe they're trying to retire a little bit before they're ready at all, right? That happens too. But probably more commonly is, okay, especially for those that are probably watching this, where you probably are trying to prepare well. One more year, just one more year, right? What are you giving up for that one more year? Now, here's a bonus. This is not financial advice, okay? Just keep that in mind. I don't know what your finances are, and some people hear these tips, and they think, oh, we just need to, if we just throw out the financial plan, don't worry about the money and just retire, then it will all work out. And that's not what I'm saying here. I'm not saying the money doesn't matter and just focus on everything else. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, look, having a financial plan is crucial so that once you start thinking about this, you say, okay, what would the impact be if I went this year or next year instead of waiting to whenever I thought? What does that look like? I never recommend just jumping into something not knowing what it looks like. I'm just saying, think about it. What would it look like if you retired sooner than you otherwise planned? Is that what you want? Maybe you love your job and you don't want to. I don't know. Those are the calls you'll have to make. But I hope this made you at least think, because I see a lot of people retire, and there are very rarely times when people say, man, I wish I didn't retire that soon. But probably 9 times out of 10, it's the other way around of, I wish I would have gone a little bit sooner. So you got to make that call for yourself. But I hope that's helpful. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video.